Hey all, welcome to Tech Talk. Today's episode is about virtual reality. Virtual reality is a concept that when I was a kid was something to the imagination. We would see it on movies like Spy Kids and advertising company magazines as the next greatest thing, the future of how people will interact with things, including the real world and video games. Today we have these two concepts mapped out to a point where we're trying to get really good at nailing down the essential boundaries of what a 3D space is and how we as users interact with it in a way that feels natural and flowing to how we normally interact with the world around us. These two different types of interaction include virtual reality, which is the simulation of an environment, to augmented reality, which is our environment around us enhanced with simulated objects. Today we're going to specifically focus on virtual reality. However, augmented reality takes those same kinds of principles and just tries to display it in a way where three-dimensional objects in our surrounding can be captured and recorded by cameras to then allow for displays and for object interaction to be done in augmented reality without the user bumping into things, being able to see around them, as well as being able to access all the resources they need just from a few clicks. Now, in order to do all of this, we need hardware. This hardware allows for us to interact with the software that's given that says, here is how this virtual world is going to work. And here are all the objects that you can interact with, and here are all the platforms in which you're allowed to use this. But without the hardware, we won't be able to use the software with its given parameters. So let's take a look at some hardware that's available to us as consumers. I personally have an Oculus Quest 2. The Oculus Quest 2 is not the latest generation of the Oculus, as well as not the latest generation of headset that's available. This headset I got a while back. Now, I still think that it's a great headset for the kinds of games and information technology that I use with it today, including having multiple monitors up, being able to scale out three-dimensional objects, or playing games like Virtual Reality Racing, or Blade and Sorcery, or Hard Bullet. This headset specifically has motion tracking that follows these cameras that are pinned around the headset. However, some virtual reality setups have cameras that are located in different corners of your room to track where you are and perceive depth, as well as keep you from bumping into objects in your boundary. This headset has a battery life of about 2 hours on its own, depending on if you're playing a heavy-set game or not, as well as having adjustable straps, including one over the top, and then 2 adjustable plastic clips here on the side to adjust for around the head. It has volume controls on the bottom here, and you can even hook it up to your speakers on your computer as well, so you can hear audio outside of your environment as well. It has a power button here, and on the other side it has a USB-C plug for your power, as well as being able to hook up QuestLink. QuestLink allows for your Oculus to be hooked up to your computer and be able to play games that are stored on your local hard drive. This headset has a hard drive already inside of it, so you can play games locally without needing a computer around. However, you are in a different menu and you need to consider the factors that you will run out of storage, as well as being able to interact with certain things like a desktop environment to do work on. One neat thing about Oculus is that they have AirLink, and AirLink allows for you to have a wireless experience with your headset onto your desktop. So instead of needing to use QuestLink, you can use AirLink, which provides just as good results in terms of performance while being able to get rid of cables that are attached to your headset. Breaking things down further, we have our 2 screens which essentially act as lenses for our eyes. Now, each image is focalized into our eyes at the point at which we can no longer see what's in the middle, just like how we have our natural senses to block out our nose from the middle of our eyes so we can see objects in front of us. There are also plastic clips that help extend the headset out for comfortability, including this removable one. This usually helps with people who wear glasses while they play or may just not feel comfortable with the screen so close to their face. And these lenses move in and out as well, depending on if your eyes are further apart or closer together. And finally, these have detachable straps to allow for a user to take it off as easy as necessary and replace with their own as well. While the headset is great and provides a very good optical view for how you interact with your game, it also comes down to your controllers and how you interact with the environment around you, including interactive feedback, like movement in the controller from the weight that's attached to a motor, or it comes from being able to understand when you grab something, how it naturally fits into the flow of moving your fingers around and interacting with things in real life. These controllers have nothing super special about them, except I do like the feature where there are sensors around your buttons and the controller that actually actively do more than just simulate hand movement. They can recognize whether or not your thumbs are closed, up, your trigger fingers up or down, and even knows whether or not you're moving your controller around at a certain speed, depending on the speed at which your arms are moving. I really hope you enjoyed the video. This one's a bit more complex. There's a lot of deeper subtopics that can go into this as well. Thank you so much again for watching, and take care.